Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to look at the game 11 from the FIDE World Chess Championship match played between Ding Liren and Gukesh in Singapore 2024. This is, like I said earlier, this is game 11. And Gukesh will be playing the white pieces. Ding Liren will be defending with the black pieces. Let's enjoy the beauty things this game has to offer. Since the game has started game 1 to game 10, the game has been played, then the both players are tied by score 5 for Ding Liren, 5 for Gukesh. So let's see if game 11 will break the tie. Gukesh chooses to start with knight to f3, d5, c4, d4. We have the Reti opening. Even when the knight was played, it was the Reti. Here we go with the declined variation because from this move, pawn was offered. So since the pawn was not captured, the pawn was pushed forward by Ding Liren. So we know that this variation is a decline variation. The game continued after b4. We go with pawn to c5 by Ding Liren, countering this pawn. What to do? Now, Gukesh counters the pawn in the center with e3. Knight comes to f6 with the intention of leaving the pawn. If pawn takes, pawn takes. What do we see? We saw a3. Bishop to g4. This position here, you need to know that the tactics on the board. The tactics is a pin, actually. Don't mind me. This pin, bishop pins the knight to the queen. So knight moves, the bishop captures the queen. You can see it for yourself. So in this position, how did Gukesh deal with this? These are Grandmaster's idea. My own idea and concept comes instantly with, in fact, instantly with a response of bishop to e2. I was almost playing that earlier. I know you must have seen that, but what did this Grandmaster do? Here he just left bishop to e2 and take the pawn. First of all, now pawn takes. Ding Liren is daring him to take the pawn. He cannot. That's a bad move. Blunder. Bad, man. So he went for h3 instead, attacking the bishop. Bishop takes the knight on f3. Queen takes. Of course, you don't want to see something like this. See, damage pawn structure. No, not good. I know. So in this position, you just have to take with the queen. So in case you're playing your own game, just think of it like this. To avoid damaging your pawn structure along the side you want to castle your king, you need to keep it intact. At least it's just move 8 in the game. You don't want to see bad pawn structure. In the sense that after this queen captured, we see an idea. There's a free pawn, which is this pawn on b7. So you activated the queen by capturing a piece, in turn attacking a piece in your opponent's camp. It is now up to your opponent to know what's going on and defend. So if your opponent loses guard, you can take it. So in this game, after Gukesh took that pawn on f3, Ding Liren noticed this. What did he do? He went for queen to c7 idea. Why? He's defending this pawn. Simple. So for those of you watching this right now and you are new to chess, do not forget to hit the like or subscribe button on this channel. And at the same time, feel free to ask questions in the comment section. You can use the timestamp. From there, I can see it and answer your questions. Meanwhile, as the game continues, we have d3. Why? Stopping this pawn from penetrating into this space further. Although the pawn is a lone ranger for now. However, defense might come in the future and, the pieces might protect it till it becomes very valuable, getting down to d1. In the sense and in the light of this, a5 comes up. With the wing side, Ding Liren wants to break free. If pawn takes, rook enters the game instantly, then creating this kind of isolated 2 pawns. They are just 4 now, very well connected. So this pawn also came down to counter it, to counter this chain. See the gang of bad pawns. Pawns on the queen side, dangerous. What did Gukesh do? He went on to play b5. He declines taking. If it is you that I'm talking to now, if it was you, you'll have run and captured the pawn. How will you grow? You won't grow. Look at Grandmaster's idea. They wait, they think, prevent, takes. First of all, they observe and say, what should I do? You see, Gukesh's intention is to keep this chain connected and alive. This is the head of the chain, this is the tail of the chain. For you to break this chain now, you need to come down to the base. Who will get there? Which of the piece? There's no light square bishop for black. So this concept, this idea is worth learning and understanding. So the game will continue after he pushed this pawn. But wait, what do you do if you are playing black? Ding Liren. One of my idea when I saw this move was at least, play this, cement your center. If there's a continuation with a move like this, bishop comes outside, you play your bishop. Eventually, white will love to castle. Then you castle to safety. Castle to safety. Only now would you love to fight for the queen side. Something like this. I have tried this in the past. It may not have been the best, but as a beginner, when I was trying to grow, I'm not in this level. As a beginner, I'm trying to get better. I will not just play like grandmasters are playing. Grandmasters play daring things. Well, we go back to b5 and see what Ding Liren played. That was my own idea. Well, Ding Liren used to go knight on b to d7 first, bringing out pieces from the queen side, trying to bring in the pieces to play. Probably knight will come to this square, then you push the pawn, but you cannot push the pawn now. This rook is hanging. In this position here, g3 comes up by Gukesh. This rook is not defended. This pawn is pinned to the rook. A nice tactical concept, or let me say a strategy, a nice strategical concept is to apply pressure to a pinned opponent's piece. Now, for now, Ding Liren does not have a light squared bishop standing on c8. So no bishop on this board. That is what is giving Gukesh the morale to play bishop g2, support the queen, harass the pawn, only one defender. A future move will be to bring a rook to defend it. Let's watch out. Knight to c5 came up first. Temporarily, the knight is defending the pawn. For now, you cannot still push the pawn. The king is still in the center. In this case, bishop to g2 now comes up. See the plan. The bishop, the queen are already prepared to snatch up this pawn. To me, I still prefer playing the rook now, keeping it to support defending the pawn. You have realized the threat. If this white player chooses to castle up in the future, you can choose to open up, develop the bishop, castle. For now, no problem. However, after we see bishop to g2 by Gukesh, Ding Liren played knight on f to d7. Look at the movement of those knights. The knight moved to d7, Gukesh castled. An important thing in the opening is to keep the king safe before you launch reasonable attack, because there are some attacks that are not reasonable. So for the case of study and lesson purpose, before you launch any attack, keep your king safe. Make sure your pieces are in the right position. Make sure your valuable pieces you want to use for attack are in the right position before you launch an attack. So knight to e5 followed. This attack, to me, came in very early. At the same time, it is premature. There's no piece available now to support the knight. The queen is alone, still defending the pawn on b7. The knight here on c5 is still defending the pawn on c7, and you are launching this attack. These are like I would say, these are grandmasters. Not all grandmasters play like this. And even if this grandmaster is playing like this, he must have a long-term plan we are not seeing. Me, I am just throwing ideas on the floor, which might be reasonable and probably useful for people of my level. Yes. So what did Gukesh do? it is obvious in this position that the knight is attacking the queen. Now let me tell you the idea behind the knight move then. The knight move is to disconnect the two pieces that are strong attacking this pawn, so the pawn can even move. You see it? That was why. So let's not blame Dean Lorraine. Let's not blame Dean Lorraine for anything. This move he played, that is the reason. Attacking the queen, disconnecting the two strong battery. In fact, those pieces are eyeing that pawn and they are dangerously waiting for the right moment to take the pawn. In this position here, Gukesh saw a brilliant, let's not call it brilliant, a great move. In fact, the best at the moment. He defends by running away to a safe square f4. In turn, pins the knight to the queen. Look at this follow-up. When the knight came to e5 here, the knight was not only attacking the queen standing on f3, then the knight was also attacking this pawn on d3. So, if the knight goes ahead to take, and you see that the queen is undefended, very nice deceptive approach by Gukesh. You see it? You see why he played this move, queen to f4. If you are the one playing your own game, you just run and push your queen to anywhere and not calculate the best move with reason to play. So you play with reason, intentions. Now this has happened here. If you say, let us go with this, do you see something on this board? Obviously, there is a simple move. You can just simply slide this man away, or you take this pawn too. Yeah, and you have given away this. In fact, the center is just too open. But that variation did not come up in the game. The variation went on as this. Seeing the bishop still pinned the pawn to the rook, I believe this is happening, probably, or this should be good. But the queen is not defended, and pressure is coming on this knight soon with just simple rook to e1 move. We just pressure this guy. So Dean Lorraine with the black pieces played rook to d8, holding this pawn. He wants to go after this pawn. So if knight captures, the queen cannot take this at the moment. Here we saw a continuation with rook to d1, defending this, defending the knight. Now look at, you cannot take it anymore. You can't. Or is it possible? No, you can't. At the moment, you cannot take it. If you do that, what will happen? You see it? Did you see? And knight cannot take. If knight takes, the queen is still hanging. That's why you cannot take the pawn again. So let's go back to rook to d1, defending the pawn. g6 followed. I was thinking after g6, the idea is to bring the bishop here, support the defending. Well, there is a4, h5. You see this h5? When I look at it deeply, I see something. Now let me look at the squares this queen can go. The queen can go to here for safety. This place is bad. Knight, pawn, knight. Okay, we have a good square here. Yeah. But what will happen if the bishop comes here? The queen has to go to this square. Let's say, for example, in this position, the queen is almost trapped. Because I was looking at why push this pawn in the first place to h5. Dean Lorraine calculation went deep to as far as h5. Now, we pushed h5 with this follow-up. See, for me, look at these pieces at the back have not been developed. And we have this tucked rook here. It needs to be activated. If a move is just making random moves on the board, actually, if you say you want to just develop a piece and you choose to go with the knight, so maybe the knight can come in here and support you in harassing the pawn. long-term 3 moves plan. You know, there is this beautiful move. Bishop to h6. I am not siding one side though. I'm trying to look at the board and how things might go wrong. You know, there might be advantages that one of the two players did not see, just like this. But this one is an analysis to just observe the queen on this board. Now the queen is doing a very good job holding the knight to the queen. So it's an idea to plan against the queen. So if this was not observed earlier in the game, this is an attack to the queen. The knight covers this square. The knight covers this square. The pawn covers here. This pawn covers here. We have a pawn here. Now the bishop is slicing through this diagonal, still looking at the queen. The only square the queen can go to now is this square. h4. And after h4, can you see the issue? The issue on the board will be to push this pawn. It had to push it. You see? Well, even if you did not push it instantly, at least we have removed the queen from this particular square. It's now possible to take the bishop and take the pawn. Yeah, even just go ahead. This move is now valid at the moment, taking this free pawn because the queen is no more here. So if bishop takes, rook takes, bishop takes, bishop, rook takes. I was thinking there was a trap for the queen after pawn push here to g5, but the queen will just take this pawn and escape. Well, this is chess. Ideas are on the board. Now, we saw h5. What did Gukesh do? Gukesh did not want his queen running up and down because that queen is centralized and is very powerful on f4 at the moment compared to this queen on c7. Gukesh went for a different idea with b6 first. You see why b6 comes in? b6 came in because if queen take, knight is undefended, queen takes knight with the intention to take this rook. But Dillirin says, okay, I know your idea. Keep my queen safe. Then he now played this concept. This is a great move in this concept. Why? See, bishop comes now, attacking the queen. You know, the queen can run to this angle. Simple. If queen goes here, you're going to see now, only now would queen take this particular pawn. The loss of a pawn. But Gukesh went on with a creative idea with bishop takes first. Queen takes, queen to a4. Came back to still pressure this pawn. Knight goes to c6. Knight to a3. Rook, knight, queen takes. Now, as queen takes the pawn, queen becomes the haunted piece with the following variation. Gukesh started playing extremely aggressive. He went on with rook on a to b1, attacking the queen. If queen comes down to c5, rook attacks the queen again. With tempo, queen has to flee somewhere. Then this will happen. You know, it may not even happen instantly. These are ideas. It may just be a simple doubling of rook. So even as that when this happens now, let's say this happens, queen goes back. This is going, you know, this is going. Yeah, we take the pawn in the center with the intention to even throw the knight here and harass the queen. Perhaps in this game, Gukesh, after playing b1, rook to b1, Dillirin went to c7 with the queen. So rook goes to b5 is now that it's castling on move 24. You don't blame anybody here. This is a grandmaster's game. They have ideas all over everywhere. They're doing well. But mind you, this pawn is still a problem. The knight is not sufficiently defended by a queen and a pawn, of which pressure will pour in now with different variation. Here, knight remanovers. We have a knight placed on a square to attack the rook if it hops to c5, and still putting pressure on b7. What? e6. We have knight attacking the rook. Now the rook has to be saved. Rook to e7. This happened. Pressure on that pawn on b7. If that pawn falls, this piece is going. A nice way to continue here is at least give out the pawn, release the pawn by playing knight. So knight takes. You can choose to say, okay, you want to leave it this way and continue your game. Fine, with some other variations best known to you. However, in the game, in this position, Grandmaster Ding Liren blundered the queen with queen to c8. This is where Gukesh played a move that shocked the old chessboard. He just went on to sack the queen. A queen sacrifice by taking that knight. How do we continue? You see, this just made Ding Liren resign on move 29. The game ended. This is how Gukesh gained victory in game 11 in the FIDE World Chess Championship match played in Singapore between Ding Liren and Gukesh. Gukesh is the challenger. Ding Liren is the defending champion. So Gukesh now with the white pieces takes the lead, having 6 points over Ding Liren 5 points. What a masterpiece. You know, it's been a while we saw queen sacrifice in a world championship match. Here is one. Seeing this particular one is just wonderful. Now, there's something I observed. There are many continuations from different angles, in the sense that if pawn takes here, what do you do from here? Rook 1, queen takes, check. Did you see that? King has to go somewhere. Then in the light of this, you can continue with bishop takes pawn. Everything is going down. Oh, okay. Bishop takes pawn is not the best move at the moment because of rook comes down here. If rook comes, temporarily there can be a defense like this. Yeah. So, but what if there was a rook? Maybe rook exchange. Rook takes rook. 9 takes. You are attacking this piece. You are attacking this piece. This variation is still okay. This is like a continuation that Ding Liren saw and said, no, I'm going to be down a piece. The piece that the queen took there on c6 becomes an advantage for Gukesh. Well, see you guys in the next game. That's game 12. Here, Gukesh take the lead. Thank you for watching. If you like, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe. You can just subscribe. Just support me. It's no big deal, man. See you.